Welcome back, guys. Blue Ridge Silverhound, bringing you a what I would call probably one of the neatest, if not under the radar. And when I mean under the radar, I mean under the radar error coins that you could possibly ever find in those rolls of half dollars. Okay, not a lot of people, really think about it, but for those of you that go through half dollar rolls on a consistent basis, and it's kind of like your thing, and you have a bank that orders them for you, and let's say for instance you're focused on just finding silver. Okay, there are a lot of coins that are not silver that have that silver look to them. We never really think about it. We look at the date and are like, oh, it's well outside of the range of what silver would be. Of course, 1964 in the Kennedy half dollars was the only 90% business strike silver that you could find. I would say, I'm not really regularly. It's not like it was 30 years ago when there was more and more of them out there for the plucking. But the 40% silvers, I still find them quite often, and yeah, we all know it's 1965 to 1970. Of course, 1970 was one of those special mint set only issues that some of us may not be aware of, but that is the case. But the coin that you see here before you, okay, it's strange. It's a 1977D. On all accounts, it is one of the most common and most plentiful dates that you could find in any Kennedy half dollar. We all know that it should be, a copper nickel clad planchet. But in the instance of this particular example, this is one that sold, by the way, a few weeks ago on Heritage Auctions CSNS sale, which is short for the Central States Auction. This particular example was struck on a 40% silver planchet. All right, so it was one of those things that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. Okay, 7 years after the fact, when all the supposed quote-unquote 40% planchets had already been minted on this particular example, maybe it was a blank that was just erroneously was found on the floor, after a cleanup or whatever the case may be, and someone just threw it into a batch of blank planchets for production of the 1977 dated coins. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to have to look for when you come across something that looks familiar like this. And the biggest tool that I would say every coin collector or coin roll hunter should own should be a pennyweight scale, something that weighs in grams. It is an invaluable tool, and it's one that you can pick up for under $10. All right, a relatively decent one would be under $10. So a standard 1977 or any clad planchet coin, okay, the lesser valuable ones, weigh traditionally 11.34 grams. Okay, a 40% silver planchet coin weighs a little bit heavier than that. Okay, the standard was 11.7. All right, so it's a little bit heavier. This particular example weighed in at around 11.6, but it's well within the tolerances for a silver strike planchet, all right, or a silver planchet stock. So that would be the key. Of course, it would also have that nice pasty white look that we all associate with silver. And if you were to just kind of, drop it on a wood surface, you'll hear the distinctive higher pitched ring in comparison to a clad half dollar of the same date, I guess. So this particular example, we find one, what do we do with it? Okay, first and foremost, you have to get it authenticated. This is not an easy sell if you just have the coin raw and you're trying to sell to a coin dealer. Okay, most coin dealers, when it comes to this specific type of error, will not bite. Okay, for whatever reason. And I think it has a lot to do with counterfeiting and a few other things as well. But the coin most certainly has to be certified in order to maximize the amount of money that you would receive for it. This example sold for $6,600, I believe, and it was found in circulation. It was graded out at NGC AU58, so no doubt about it, something like this has been found in circulation. I'm willing to bet there's probably a few more out there for the taking, but being able to identify it, from the get-go is of the utmost importance. So definitely get it certified. Use any one of the graders. In this case, it's not going to affect the value any if you went, say, with a PCGS to, Annex or NGC. It doesn't matter. Annex would be the lesser expensive, but they do a great job attributing errors such as this. But you just need the authentication on it before you sell it. Okay, so and you can submit it to Heritage Auctions, maybe a Stack's Bowers, great collections, or perhaps a company like Sullivan Numismatics, the foremost leaders in error coins, would be interested in something like this as well. So just a few avenues of what to look for and who to sell it to. Definitely a stunning coin. It's fantastic when stuff like this comes out, and it's definitely worth noting that they are indeed in existence in regular pocket change. So that's the lesson of the day. Never not look at your coins as you put them in your pocket and then into the change jar, because you never know what riches you might find. So I want to thank everyone again for joining in on this episode. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, Blue Ridge Silverhound is the place. And I appreciate your guys' time, and you guys have a fantastic afternoon. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.